Hello, this is Patrick, AK9FJ, with the Stanislaus County Amateur Radio Emergency Services. Today I'm going to do a short video on the installation and configuration, basic configuration of the NBEMS, the Narrowband Emergency Messaging software. The FLDigi, FLMessage, and FLWrap are the pieces of software we're going to install and configure. We're just going to do some basic, very basic, minimal configuration on this tutorial. And we can go into some little more in-depth configuration and usage of the software in future video tutorials. So the first thing you want to do is to download the software, and you go to the W1HKJ website, w1hkj.com, and there's some great information here and some great software. Take a look at some of this stuff here, but today what we're going to do is go to the download page and download FLDigi, FLWrap, and FLMessage. I'm using Windows, so I'm going to use the Windows versions and download those. If you're using Linux distro or a Mac, you can download the appropriate software for those. So first off, we're just going to grab FLDigi here. It's very small. It'll download really quick. Matter of fact, it's done there. That was very quick. And then I'm going to grab FLWrap right here. And then FLMessage. So it's that quick, very simple, very small. You might also want to grab the FLDigi help right here and the FLDigi manual. There's some great information on in the usage and configuration and installation of the software, and I'd highly recommend you download that. So I'm going to go ahead and come to open up my downloads folder, and there's the three pieces of software. I'm going to install them just in the order they're in there. It doesn't really matter which order you install them. I'm running Windows 7. I'm going to go ahead and right click and run as administrator, accept the user account control dialog there. I'm going to accept the license agreement, the license information. And then the only thing I'm going to uncheck here is the FLARQ. I'm not going to be installing that. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the start menu and desktop menu items. Here it's going to install it in the program files folder with the name of the folder is going to be the version of the software, the current version. If you download in the future, you do an upgrade and you install it again, it's going to install it in the whatever version number it happens to be at that time, and it will not uninstall this version. So you could have multiple copies, so you'll have to manually uninstall any previous versions unless you want to keep them for some reason. It's a very small package, very small footprint. It's going to it's done right there. It does not use a lot of resources on the computer, which is great. I'm going to do the same thing with FLMessage. I'm just going to leave this as default, and the path installation folder is default, and then it's done also. And then FLWrap, and these are just pretty much default installations on everything. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out, and you'll see on the desktop here we have the three icons, and I'm going to go ahead and fire up FLDigi first. And the first time you launch it, it's going to run you through a real small brief wizard here, configuration wizard, where you can just set up and configure these three items, basically the operator information, audio devices, and transceiver control, if you're going to do that. Today we're not going to. So at minimum you need your call sign in this. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my name here. And we'll go ahead and put my QTH, if I spell it right. There we go. Not going to put the locator or the antenna. Go next here, and the next part is the audio device, and what I'm using is a Signalink USB, and you can see it here in the inset right here. It's a nice little device, easy to set up, very reliable. So you need to check your port audio, and as you can see the capture field here, it's already selected the proper device, which is the USB audio codec. Down here at playback I need to select that as well for the speakers here, USB audio codec. And that's all. That's all I need to do. Don't need to worry about the settings at this point. Eventually you're going to want to calibrate your sound card and configure your receive parts per million and your transmit for sound card correction here. Well, we're not going to do that right at this time. So click on next. Here's where you could set up your transceiver control if you're going to do that. Again, for this video we're not going to do that, so we're just going to finish up. And there it brings you into the FLDigi software here. I'm going to go ahead and open that up a little bit. And after installing and setting up those few items, you're going to want to set up a few more things. Now, if you go to Configure menu right here and drop that down, you can get to just about everything right from this drop down. We've already done the operator, and we've actually done the sound card already. What we're going to do next is the modems. We're going to select modems. And in here, what we're going to be concerned with right now for this minimal installation and basic installation is the MT63. Since we're going to be using MT63 on UHF, VHF through the repeater or simplex, mostly you need to configure the 64-bit long interleave and just select that. The rest of it is just fine. Leave it as is out of the box. If you're doing HF, with the conditions are bad, you might be using Olivia, but we're not going to go into that right at this point either. So the next thing you want to look at is your miscellaneous tab right here. So click on the miscellaneous tab. It brings open these tabs here. Select NBEMS. As you can see, it's already enabled, and that's great. I like to open up the message folder when I receive a file from somebody else that's sending a FL message file. You don't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and select that for now because I think it's a time saver trying to find that folder and open up things when you receive a file. This down here will, when you do receive an FL message from somebody, a form, then it's going to open up with the FL message, and it'll also open up the browser, your default browser, your internet browser, and this presents the form or the message in a better format, easier to read and much better to print, as well as more likely what your served agency is going to want to see. What you have to do here is actually tell the program where to find FL message and put the path in this box here, and you can use this locate button to do that. You click that and it'll bring your C drive open here. You're going to want to navigate down to program files and then come down to the latest version of FL message that you just installed. 1.1.29 is what we just installed. You can see I have some previous ones here from another install. We're just don't worry about those, and we're going to open that up, and you'll see the flmessage.exe. Just highlight that so it shows up in the file name down here, and then hit OK. And as you can see, the path has been entered right there, and that's pretty much it. Timeout in seconds we're going to leave as default. And then after you do all that, you're going to want to save it. Anything you do in here, you need to save, otherwise you will lose it. If you close out this dialog, everything will hold until you actually close the program. Then you lose everything and have to do it all over again. So be sure you save that right there. And then I'm going to close that. And that is really the basic, just very minimal setup, installation, and setup and configuration of FLDigi. Very simple, quick, and it shouldn't be any problem getting to this point. So we're going to close that out, and then we're going to take a look at FL message. There's only really a couple things we need to look at here. And again, the first time you launch it, it's going to open the dialog for personal data. Once again, your call sign is pretty much minimum. You need to put in there. I'm not going to put anything else in here at this point. I'm going to close that. And as you can see here, this comes open with a ARRL radiogram form. If you want to see the other forms, and more than likely the forms we'll be using, you click on Forms and ICS, and here are a bunch of the ICS forms here. And you can also see all the different forms that come within the FL message program. So let's take a look at say this ICS 213, and this just brings you the fields that you would fill out to in their position and from the position, subject line, the date and time. If you just want to click those ellipses there, it puts in the current date and current time. Here's where you put your message, your signature and your position, and then you would send that off. And we'll go through sending it off in another video. Another thing you might want to configure is date and time format. So select whatever date and time format seems appropriate. I'll leave it at default. One other thing here is the file and formatting. Whenever you wrap a file, which we'll again do at a later date, another video tutorial, but I like to check that because when I wrap it, I want to open up that folder where it saves it. Naming of the files could be dependent on the incident or the event. Typically, you may not want your call sign in the file name, serial number, and the date and time for sure, I would think. And the serial number will start at 1 and increment by 1 for every other file you create, every form you create. The rest I'm just going to leave as is. I'm going to close that out. And that's all there really is to configuring FL message. And again, the usage of FL message and FLDigi and FLWrap, we're going to get into it at a later time on a different tutorial. This one's just going to be just the basic stuff just to get going. FLWrap, you won't have any configuration in here. Here's what it looks like. There's no configuration whatsoever. We'll take a look at that later as well. And that's it. The basic minimal configuration. There's a lot more we can do to configure and modify and customize the say the FLDigi interface. How many rows of macros down here? There's 4 of them total, and you can put add another row above here or some and other places on the screen here. And there's a number of other configurations you can do that would help make the usage of this program a little easier. And again, I think we'll do that on the next video. We'll get a little more into detail as to a little more configuration and a little more customizing the interface and whatnot. But that's pretty much it. You can actually start using this program right now. And without any more configuration whatsoever. But we will end this tutorial with that as a basic setup and configuration, and leave it at that. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. This is AK9FJ. Good evening.